Grammy Award winner. He has released 7 albums. He's the author of an upcoming book called Unashamed. He's done a number of things, but he's never been to Willow Creek. Would you give a huge, warm welcome for the one, the only Lecrae! Hey, we're so glad that you're here.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So, watching you perform, you make it look so easy. It seems like you're having the time of your life, but I know about your story, and I know that it hasn't always been easy. I thought just maybe for many people who know your art, your music, they might not know your story. Would you tell us a little bit about who you are, where you came from, and how you met Christ?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, I haven't always worn shiny pants on stages. Was born in the south side of Houston, Texas. Oh, right on, all the way up here. And like many people, 80s babies, had to deal with the drug epidemic, the crack epidemic that affected families across the country, and my family was one of those. And my father became addicted. Unfortunately, was no longer part of, abandoned the family, and my mother had to, do the best she could to raise me. And being in a fatherless environment, you look to whatever role models you can find. And a lot of those role models were not good role models at all. And so very quickly I got wrapped up in a false sense of masculinity, thinking that being tough, gangs, violence, drugs was just the way to go in the route to take. And left me really confused, left me broken, left me searching and wondering for a sense of identity and who I was. And wrestled all through school with a sense of acceptance and worth and identity and who was I supposed to be. And by the grace of God, there were just different individuals along the way that saw gifting in me, saw potential in me, just tried to invest in me. Ended up getting a full ride to college and almost blew it there, but were not for a great group of people that I didn't know at the time were Christians. They were really nice and welcoming, and I was like, what do you want? What is it? What's the pitch? What's the sales pitch here? But they just were so welcoming, and they embraced me and showed me the light. And my life has never been the same. I've been different ever since. So, yeah.
Your music is filled with this raw, bold, pure authenticity. And it's something I just deeply respect. And where did that come from?
I think, honestly, it's growing up with this overwhelming sense of lack of identity and need for acceptance. And when you're always looking to be accepted, you're always hiding and pretending and trying to be whatever you need to be so that you're accepted. And once Jesus kind of liberated me and said, you're free, your identity's in me, you don't have to worry about being accepted, you're accepted. It just opened me up to say, well, I'm truly free to just be me and be who I was created to be. And I'm not shackled by my past. I'm no longer a slave to the things I used to do. I'm not identified by who I was or what happened to me or what I did. And it freed me, it liberated me.
So on September 9th, 2014, Anomaly drops. And in that first week, 90,000 albums are purchased. I mean, it goes #1 on the Billboard Top 200. People go crazy. They lose their minds over this album. Where were you? Because it's every artist's dream to go #1. Where were you when you got the word?
That's funny. It's a funny story because I remember specifically. I'm a parent. I have a 8-year-old son. He's 8 now. At the time, he was like 6 or 7, 6 or 7, and And sometimes when you're helping your kids color, you just kind of take over and move them out the way. Like, I got this. And I remember kind of like moving him out the way, and he was kind of like, okay, I guess you just took over, Dad. And I'm sitting there coloring, and in my phone, just text messages started flying like, oh my gosh, you're number one, you're number one. And I was like, what's happening? What's number one? What's happening right now? And I gave my son back his coloring book. I said, Daddy got some other stuff to do. So it was a cool moment.
A few days later, after that, you're on Jimmy Fallon. You're performing with The Roots. This hashtag Lecrae on Fallon. You get 3 months later, come back to Fallon. You're not now on some side stage. You're right next to him. And after it, I find myself watching him because he's so captivated by what you're saying. He did Welcome to America that second time you're up. He walks over to you and he whispers into your ear. I'm like rewinding it, trying to see what he's actually saying. But it seems like nobody expects you to be great. And then you take the stage and you blow people's minds. Like, what's your mindset when you go on Fallon or when you perform a show or you're here at a church? What's that mindset that you're trying to express?
Yeah, it's, I think a lot of times the stigma of Christian to the outside world is not cultural maker, but kind of adopter of culture, or you kind of steal. You don't come up with your own slogans. You just kind of take Sprite and then make your own slogan around it. And so people really, their minds are not a lot of times open for uniqueness, creativity, and things along those lines. And so I'm always aware of that and wanting to do the best that I can possibly do to do a great job. And so Jimmy actually was just telling me he liked my hair, but I was trying to do a great job with the art aspect of it.
In 2004, you and a friend, you start Reach Records, and you've got artists like Triple E and KB, 116 Click, Andy Video, Tadashi. What's the mission and the vision around Reach Records?
Reach Records, our mission is to change the way people see the world. I think everyone's looking at the world through a particular lens, but we know that there's one lens that they should be seeing it through, and that's God's lens. And so we want people to see the world through that lens. Yeah, that's our ambition is to reach, and the hard to reach places, the marginalized, the disenfranchised, the people who feel forgotten, who feel like no one cares about them anymore. Hip hop music has always been kind of the music of the disenfranchised and angst, and we want to use that to speak to people in those circumstances as well. Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about your creative process. Like, how do you kind of see a song, write a song? Like, take us into your mind in that process.
For me, I realize that there's always going to be somebody on the other end of this song, and so I want the song to be as real and relevant as possible, and not kind of this sugary thing that just I made up, but real and authentic. And so I think it's very important for me to live as normal life as possible, to get some dirt under my nails. Our Savior was a carpenter. He had dirt under his fingernails. He was a people's, he was a man of the people. And so sometimes it's riding a subway, sometimes it's, going to a prison, sometimes it's just hanging out, doing normal things with normal people, hearing real issues, real struggles, real problems that inspires the music. So, yeah.
On May 3rd, your first book, Unashamed, comes out. I hope all of you have pre-ordered it. I've read a few chapters. It's incredible. Give us a little bit of the backstory, the heart behind this book.
Yeah, Unashamed is like, it's the mantra. It's kind of like, again, the idea that I'm free, I'm liberated, and I wanted to kind of write a memoir telling some of these stories. I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are wounded, and they feel like their wounds will never heal. And here I am with all these scars, and most of us who have scars, we're scared to show them off. We want to pretend like they never happened. But when wounded people see your scars, they say, whoa, my wounds can heal. They see that a healer really does exist. And so I wrote this book to show people my scars, because I'm not ashamed of them. I'm free, and heal people, and so I want to see people healed.
So I like to do a little rapid fire, just ask you 5 or 6 questions. Give me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Man, oh boy.
Favorite sport?
Basketball, come on now.
Favorite team?
Woo!
LA Clippers.
I'm gonna get in trouble. I don't want to be politically correct here, but Houston Rockets. I'm gonna just
Should have traded Dwight. Okay, favorite verse.
Romans 1:16.
Love it. Favorite lyric.
Oh man, that's tough right there. I don't know Tadashi got some new music coming, and he's got some stuff on there that's powerful. I don't want to give it away, but he's got some challenging lyrics. So yeah.
Favorite artist
Of like all time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough too. Goodness gracious. If Bob Marley and Michael Jackson could be one person, that's my favorite artist.
I imagine that every time you perform and you talk to someone after a show, they love to slip you a mixtape, tell a little demo of theirs. So here's mine. If Reach needs someone, I'm right here, man. Hey, we did a series last year called "The God I Wish You Knew," and the whole thing was taking phrases and words in a culture that has all these ideas about who God is. We just wanted to say, hey, this is the God I wish you knew. Who's the God that you wish this room knew?
Oh man, the God who restores the years the locusts have eaten. I think so many people just carry baggage and feel like they're so unworthy, and God will never forgive them, and they can't even lift their heads up to come to Him. And I know a forgiving, gracious, loving God who's willing to adopt the worst of the worst and make them sons and restore them. And so that's the God that I just want everybody to know. Yeah.
I just feel like I gotta do this. We'll kind of maybe close the interview with this. Kind of want to put you on the spot. And if you just had a freestyle about the gospel, about Jesus, right here, would you be up for it?
I could maybe able to rap something. I could throw something.
Come on.
Let me read. I got some lyrics on my phone. I'm just. Is that okay? No. Okay. Let's see. Oldie but goodie. It unpacks my faith a little bit. Can't offer you nothing, but your care and kindness keep coming. And your love is so unconditional, I get butterflies in my stomach. I got the old me in the rear view. I got the new me. I got a clear view. And I was so dead I couldn't hear you. Too deep in sin to come near you. But you drew me in. You cleaned me up. Take me home. Beam me up. Before you do, just let me tell the truth and let the world know that I done seen your love. And it's everlasting, it's infinite. It goes on and on. You can't measure this. You can't quench His love. Can't separate us from the love of God. There's no estimate. And my face looks the same. My frame ain't rearranged, but I'm changed. I promise I ain't the same. I got a new me, y'all. I'm at Willow Creek, y'all. My God saves all day.
Lecrae.